Here's something that might sting a little. Most genuinely good people get way less respect than they deserve. You're probably one of them. You treat others well, you're thoughtful, you give people more consideration than they probably merit. But when it comes to getting that same energy back, crickets. If this sounds familiar and it makes you frustrated, you're not alone. Let's talk about why this happens and what you can actually do about it. 1. Stop being a human doormat, aka learn to speak up. You know what's wild? Many people literally forget you have opinions because you never share them. When friends ask, "Where should we go tonight?" and you always respond with, "I don't care, whatever you want," guess what happens? They stop asking. After a few rounds of this, they'll have you categorized as someone who just goes along with whatever. No preferences, no backbone, just happy to be included. And honestly, that's not respect territory. If you want to be taken seriously, you need to actually have and express opinions. "I'd love to try that new Italian place," or "I'm not really in the mood for loud music tonight." These aren't demands. They're just you being a real person with actual preferences. 2. Forgive, but don't be stupid about it. Here's where a lot of good people mess up. You're quick to forgive, which is actually beautiful, but you're also quick to forget. Big difference. Someone treats you poorly, you forgive them, and then you act like it never happened. Clean slate, fresh start, benefit of the doubt. Noble? Sure. Smart? Not really. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. You can forgive the behavior without pretending it won't happen again. Someone who's been disrespectful to you once has a higher chance of doing it again. That's just statistics, not pessimism. Forgive for your own peace of mind, but remember for your own protection. Keep some mental notes about people's patterns. It's not holding grudges, it's being realistic about human nature. 3. Choose self-respect over keeping the peace. This is the big one. When someone you care about starts treating you with less respect, you face a choice. Protect your self-respect or protect the relationship. I get it. It's scary. You think, if I stand up for myself, they might leave. But here's what actually happens when you constantly choose the relationship over yourself. They respect you even less. When you tolerate disrespect to avoid conflict, you're basically training people that your feelings don't matter. You become the person they can treat however they want because you'll stick around anyway. The fear of being alone keeps you in situations where you're already emotionally alone. Better to be actually alone with your dignity intact than surrounded by people who don't value you. 4. Stop trying so hard to prove your worth. This one's painful but necessary. Constantly trying to show people how valuable you are actually makes you seem less valuable. When you're always explaining your good qualities, justifying your decisions, or working overtime to prove you're lovable, you're sending a message that even you're not sure you're worth respecting. Think about the most respected people you know. They don't go around listing their achievements or explaining why they deserve attention. They just exist confidently. Let people discover your worth naturally instead of force-feeding it to them. 5. Don't give away your best stuff too fast. The world can be pretty brutal to generous people. When you give everything you've got right away, all your help, all your time, all your emotional energy, people often want more instead of appreciating what they've received. It's not fair, but it's real. When you're too available, too helpful, too accommodating from day one, people start taking that as your baseline. Your extraordinary becomes their ordinary. Instead, pace yourself. Let people earn access to the best parts of you, not because you're playing games, but because your energy and kindness are actually valuable and shouldn't be handed out like free samples. 6. Build some healthy skepticism. Even the people you love most are capable of disappointing you. That's not cynicism. That's just being realistic about human nature. You don't have to become paranoid or suspicious, but keeping a little healthy awareness that anyone can mess up helps you stay grounded. When you expect perfection from people, you set yourself up to be shocked and hurt when they act human. This mindset actually helps you have better relationships because you're not putting people on pedestals they can't maintain. 7. Call out disrespect when you see it. When someone makes a comment that hurts your feelings, maybe they're joking about your appearance, your choices, or just being generally dismissive, you have to speak up. If you stay silent, they assume you're fine with it. Then it escalates. What starts as mild teasing can turn into genuine cruelty because you never drew a line. Here's my rule. If something still bothers me 24 hours later, I address it. Not in the heat of the moment when emotions are high, but after I've had time to think about whether it's worth discussing. Most of the time, if it's still eating at you the next day, it's worth mentioning. 8. Create non-negotiable boundaries. You need rules for your life that you don't bend for anyone. These aren't about being inflexible, they're about having standards. Maybe you don't check work emails after 8 p.m. Maybe you don't hang out with people who consistently put you down. Maybe you don't lend money to people who haven't paid you back before. These boundaries aren't suggestions, they're policies. When you have clear, consistent standards, people learn to respect them because you respect them. 9. Understand the paradox of giving. Here's something counterintuitive. The more you give someone all at once, the less they appreciate it. It's backwards and unfair, but that's how human psychology works. When you lead with everything you've got, all your helpfulness, all your loyalty, all your emotional availability, people often see it as your baseline instead of recognizing it as the gift it is. This doesn't mean you should become cold or calculating. It means you should value your own energy and kindness enough to share it thoughtfully rather than frantically. #, the real truth about respect. Respect isn't something you earn by being perfect or by making everyone else comfortable. It's something you command by knowing your worth and acting like it. The people who truly matter will appreciate your boundaries, your honesty about your feelings, and your refusal to accept less than you deserve. The people who don't, well, they're showing you exactly who they are. You deserve to be in relationships where your kindness is celebrated, not exploited, where your opinions matter, where people consider your feelings without you having to beg for basic consideration. Start expecting better, and you'll be amazed at how much better people become around you.